Hey guys, and welcome to an Aspie's Point of View, where I give you my opinion on stuff. So today I wanted to talk about anxiety, which is accompanied for some people with autism, certainly not everyone. And certainly, I want to make sure that I'm always saying autism is a spectrum disorder. Everyone experiences autism differently, and this is my experience with autism. But before I received my autism diagnosis, one of my diagnoses was actually generalized anxiety disorder. And when we got my autism diagnosis, we realized that, of course, the anxiety was related to the autism. For the last month or so, I've kind of been MIA, and the reason for that is what I would have called almost a complete mental breakdown, but was actually me being in a constant state of anxiety. I had found out that my job position was being eliminated, and I love my company. I worked for my company for 5 years, and I grew so much from working there. I learned how to interact with the public. I learned how to be myself. I learned how to joke and form relationships with your coworkers. I learned sarcasm a little bit. I'm still working on that, but I did learn that as well. There was so much that I learned, and I grew so much. I learned leadership skills. I could go on and on. But I loved my company. And as soon as I found out that my position was being eliminated, immediately I became very anxious because I didn't know what was going to happen. And I'm one of those people that I need to know what's happening. Otherwise, I basically lose it. And so life became really difficult for me. In order to get through the day, I had to resort to medication. And this is not me saying that medication is what everybody needs. This is not me saying that, I'm recommending anyone take medication. But for me to get through the day and to get through these anxiety attacks, I did have to take medication. And it was a really difficult thing for me to come to grips with, that my emergency medication that was supposed to be only used when I was having a severe anxiety attack became something that I had to take 3 times a day, just to get through the day, just to make it so that I was able to function in normal society. It's really hard to talk about having an anxiety attack. It's hard to explain what goes on in a person's mind. And I will say, I actually had a panic attack in front of one of my bosses, one of my new bosses, who had never seen me have a panic attack before, who didn't even know that I had autism. And it was one of the most embarrassing things in my life, and not because I'm embarrassed by my disorder, but because I felt like I showed him in that moment that I couldn't control myself. But I was able to get myself back under control, and within 20 minutes was back out on the floor doing my job, smiling, communicating with customers, and I was proud of myself for that. I did have to leave my job. I was not forced out. My boss was great. He was going to create a position for me. He was going to, work with me and try to make everything be okay. But when I went home on vacation, I actually got a phone call from somewhere that I had interviewed at, offering me a position. And I felt like it was coming at the right time. I felt like there was already change going on in my life, and it was a time to take on that change. And I feel cautiously excited about what's to come. My feelings basically at this point are, of course, that I miss my company immensely. And it actually got to the point that I did ask my boss if my last day could be a little bit sooner than it was supposed to be, because it was so hard for me to go into work every day. Because as soon as I walked in the door, I felt like I was making the wrong decision. And, you know, I will always miss my company. I hope to be able to return there and work, you know, on occasion as often as I can, just because it's my home. It became a place where I was comfortable, and I love it. But I'm excited to try this new job and see what comes of it. All I ever wanted to do was help people. And in this job, that's what I'm going to get to do every single day, is help people. And I feel really good about that. At the same time, I'm incredibly anxious because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm looking at as far as what the job is going to be like, what the people are going to be like. I don't know how anything is going to pan out. And so I'm living in this state of anxiety while I should be living in a state of pride and happiness. But my big accomplishment yesterday was actually that I did not have to take that extra anxiety medication at all the entire day. And I called my mom so excited to tell her that it was okay and I didn't have to take it. And I'm sure, you know, when I start the new job that I will take it again, just to keep myself in check, make sure that I don't have any issues. But right now, today, in this moment, I do feel happy and I do feel proud. And in this moment, my anxiety is under control. And you have to live in the moment, because if you don't, you're constantly worrying about being anxious and in turn causing yourself anxiety. And you can't do that. You literally ruin what's left of the life you have. And I learned that over this last month, that I didn't get to enjoy my last month working for my company because every day I was so worried about what was coming. And I was so anxious that I needed to medicate, and medications do a little bit turn you into a zombie. And I was kind of sleepwalking through the day. I was doing my job and I was doing it well, but I wasn't getting to experience the magic that I've always felt at my old job. So I guess the point of this video is that when you have anxiety, life can be really difficult. That for certain people, medication can be helpful for anxiety. For others, it may not be. But also to really try and absorb every second and push that anxiety to the side, because you don't want the good things in your life to pass you by because of the anxiety that you're feeling. So this has been an Aspie's point of view. Hopefully in my next video I will be able to update that life is going good, that the anxiety is fully under control, and that I'm enjoying my new job. So until next time, this has been an Aspie's point of view. Bye-bye, guys.